Let's talk about this OnePlus Nord. The first thing I want to talk about with this Nord is, did you see this docu series? I don't think my audio is playing anyway, so it doesn't matter. This is a 10-minute docu series about this new phone that they want to make. This Nord, whatever you want to. I was going to say whatever you want to call it. That's what it's called. It's called the Nord. I watched it. It's about 10 minutes long. And I don't know, I had mixed thoughts on this. I know that this is a marketing thing for OnePlus. They want to present this new sub $500 phone, which when I heard sub $500, I'm like, man, so what? Is this phone going to be $500 now? The rumor was, we were thinking maybe it might be as cheap as 330 or 350 or maybe 400 at the most. And now it might be $500, which I'm hoping it's not going to be $500. I mean, I still don't think it's going to be an awful price at 500, but I would love to see it cheaper. Anyway, I watched this docuseries, the very first episode, and to me, the way that I interpreted this video was, hey, we have a new phone coming out that's going to be under $500 and we're rushing to put it out. That's what I got out of this whole 10-minute video. I know there's more to it, and I'm sure we're going to learn more about this Nord. Again, this is a big marketing thing that they're putting here, new beginnings, all this kind of stuff. But I felt like this whole docuseries was nothing more than, we got to put this phone out in 6 months. Let's do it as fast as possible. None of us are going to sleep. All of us are going to rush to get it out. And to me, that doesn't sound promising at all. Now, OnePlus puts out good hardware. They put out good phones. I have to state that. But the intent, or at least what I've seen from this very first episode, just it doesn't do it for me. I'm excited that they're going to bring out a new phone, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. Hopefully, at a $500 price point, it does make me second question things. But for anybody else, have you watched this? What did you guys think of it? It was somewhat entertaining, but honestly, I'm just here to see the phone and what they put in it and the price point and what specs are in it and how good the camera is going to be. I would rather watch that than watch, because how many episodes of this is going to come out? I think 4, maybe 4. I really am hoping that it's like 40 minutes of them talking about how they're going to put this phone together. I don't know. It's content and it's good hype, I guess, but it's not really the hype I was looking for. This article from The Verge says OnePlus has announced a new product line of cheaper phones called OnePlus Nord, with the goal of making the, quote, premium OnePlus experience accessible to more users. Here's my issue with that. The premium OnePlus experience accessible to more users, that was already a thing. That was something that OnePlus was doing for a while, and then they took that away when they started upping the prices on all of their phones. Now they're here putting a new market segment in for a cheaper device, which isn't going to have the top of the line specs, but we'll talk about that. Let me get through this article. We are immensely proud of our flagship products and will continue to create more tech leading flagships for our users. Now we are excited to share the OnePlus experience with even more users around the world through this new product line, commented OnePlus CEO Pete Lau in the announcement. OnePlus originally began by selling cheaper devices. The original OnePlus One started at just $299, but it's become best known for its premium smartphones over the past few years, like the current OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro. Those models have attempted to challenge phones from more entrenched brands like Samsung or LG by offering comparable high-end features and designs at lower prices than most flagships, but even the cheapest OnePlus devices right now start at $699. The new Nord line will look to alleviate that issue by offering cheaper phones than the company's current offerings. OnePlus hasn't offered too many details on what the first OnePlus Nord phone will look like, but it has said that it'll launch in Europe and India. North American customers interested in the OnePlus Nord line will have a chance through a highly limited beta program. Okay, that doesn't sit well with me either. That reminds me of like the OnePlus One with their invite system, and that was the whole reason I never even attempted to get one, because I didn't want to go through that invite system or whatever. But yeah, I don't know what they mean by a quote highly limited beta program set for after the main launch internationally. Earlier leaks indicate that the first OnePlus Nord phone, which at one point was rumored to be called the OnePlus Z or the OnePlus 8 Lite, will feature a Snap 765G processor, a 6.55-inch 90 Hz OLED display, 6 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigs of internal storage. The phone is also expected to offer a 48 megapixel main camera as well as a 16 megapixel wide angle lens. OnePlus is expected to announce more details about the first OnePlus Nord phone at a July 10th launch event in India. That is, well, 10 days from now. So next Friday. So we don't have to wait too long for when this phone is going to be announced, or at least what specs we're going to get in it. I wonder though if the $500 price point, or when they, so that $500 price point came, I think, in that video. I think they talked about it being a sub $500 phone. I don't want it to be $500. I'm really hoping for $400 price point, just so we have a little more competition, so it'll compete with the iPhone SE, and then we don't have to be like, well, but the Nord is $100 more and the camera isn't even as good. I'm speculating that the camera isn't going to be as good as the iPhone SE, but if history has proven itself, the camera phones on OnePlus devices haven't always been the best. And I'm assuming on a cheaper phone that the OnePlus Nord will probably not be able to compete with the iPhone SE. Would I love to be wrong? Yes. Please be like, Jerome, you were wrong. And I'll be like, good. I'm glad. That is my hope, but I really don't know. So let me get into chat. Let me see how you guys feel about this Nord. I didn't realize it was going to be on a quote highly limited beta program, which is, for me, I'm not going to jump through hoops to get a phone. Like, I don't mind if I have to go online and order it and say, hey, there's only limited amounts, so make sure you pre-order it on such and such day. I would be more open to that. But if I have to jump through hoops and fill out forms and, I don't know, wait to get invited, or do something like follow them on Instagram and comment Nord for the win or something cheesy, then I don't really know. Okay, let me go back into chat here. Yeah, Brian says, yep, it's going to be $499. Team Verizon says, I was hoping for $299, to be honest. That is like very optimistic. For me, I was hoping for $350. That was my hope. Yeah, Big House is saying the same thing. Hopefully $350. Deepak says, I hope it'll be around $449, but don't think so. Grant says, I'm not paying attention to any of that OnePlus marketing for this phone. It's too much. I feel like they've done way too much for this, but marketing usually what gets people hyped up. So I guess in a way I can't blame them, but they've made a separate Instagram account. They've made a docuseries that is, if you ask me, sounded very overly dramatic watching this docuseries. That's all I have to say. It wasn't, to me, it was mildly entertaining, but I was really only watching it to see if they were actually going to talk about what the phone was going to be, or how they were going to make it, or what specs could be in it. But they didn't talk about any of that. It was just like, we got to get this phone out. None of us sleep. All of us work all day. That also doesn't sound promising either. Brian says, we were all hoping it would be under $400. At $500, just get last year's OnePlus 7 series. And that's actually something I was going to talk about. So this OnePlus Nord will be $500. Will it have 5G? Yeah. Will it have a 90 hertz display? Yeah. I'm assuming. But at $500, yeah, like Brian is saying there, you could get a OnePlus 7 Pro, a OnePlus 7T, and you'll have a better processor. I don't know, maybe everything else will be similar. Maybe the Nord will have a better camera, but will it really? I don't know. Deepak says, I'm not going to fall for all that clickbaity marketing. We want a quality product for a reasonable price. And I think at the end of the day, that's all we really want. A lot of people who are loyal OnePlus fans are just hoping for that lower price and a good quality product.